We've all had a bit of fun in slippery underground car parks, locking up the rear wheel or spinning it up, no matter how much horsepower you have on offer. But the repetitive switchbacks, taking you up level by level, can get a bit tedious, especially with a twitchy throttle putting more pressure on the front tire. After all, the last place I'd want to drop my bike is on a slippery switchback in a dodgy car park. So why not use your bike's rain mode to make things a bit easier? If your bike does have a rain mode, B mode, or any mode that restricts power or softens throttle response, it will make these tighter maneuvers on slippery surfaces less troublesome. It doesn't make the straights any less entertaining, just the tight switchbacks less twitchy. Working on your bike is the best kind of therapy, until it comes to cleaning your hands covered in bike grease. I've tried regular soap, this soap, shower gel, and even the pressure washer. But nothing seems to work as well as dish soap and a sprinkle of sugar on top. Dish soap is a pro at breaking down kitchen grease, which seems to translate into the garage quite nicely, and the sugar adds the needed abrasion to loosen the stubborn dirt hiding in your skin. And while we're on the subject of bike grease, have you ever run into the garage to do something quick and simple with no need to change out of your nice clothes, and then emerged 2 hours later with grease stains that you never saw coming on your favorite pants? Well, you're definitely not alone. The good news is that, as always, WD-40 could solve your problem, and this time without cable ties and a hammer. Just place some paper towels under the stain and drench it in WD-40. Leave it for 20 minutes to soak in, and then massage in some dishwashing liquid with your fingers. Blot the stain away with a rag you don't like, rinse your mess with some warm water, and throw it in the wash like usual. Repeat this process if necessary, or thank WD-40 profusely if it worked. Action camera audio has come a long way in the last decade, but it still doesn't do justice to the best engine in the world. It's music to my ears while riding, yet the GoPro sounds more like this. You can't really blame it either, when it has wind hitting it in the lens at the speed limit. Well, there or thereabouts. But if you're really invested in getting a windless audio recording of your exhaust note, give this a try. Start an audio recording on your phone, wrap the phone in a rag and toss it under your rear seat so that it's out of the wind. Start the GoPro recording and clap loudly 3 times, so that after your ride, you can sync the audio with the video. Import the 2 files into editing software like this free DaVinci Resolve, and line up the 3 spikes from your earlier claps. Delete the GoPro's windy audio track and export. And there you go, windless exhaust audio to go with your GoPro footage. Chains deserve more TLC than they usually get. Like when you remove the rear wheel to get new shoes, and the poor thing gets left on the garage floor to attract dust and whatever gunk is on the floor. Well, next time, don't let it touch the ground. Slide the axle back through the swing arm and through the chain once the wheel is removed, so that it can hover over the ground in style, waiting for its rear sprocket to return. GoPro, start recording. GoPros like to mess with bikers.
GoPro, start recording.
Like when you're absolutely flying and the GoPro photos look like this. Well, here's how you can manipulate your GoPro into making you look fast even at 10 kilometers per hour. Mount the GoPro facing you. In time-lapse mode, set your interval to 5 seconds and your max ISO to 100. Head to that dodgy dark car park we were talking about earlier. Start the time-lapse and ride around the car park trying to keep your body very still. Otherwise, you will be blurry in the photo. Because the car park is dark and we limited our ISO, the camera will compensate by leaving the shutter open for longer, blurring the background, which will make you look far faster and more dramatic than you really were. A free way to feel more like a MotoGP rider is to flip your gear lever linkage 180 degrees on the spindle. This means you will push down to gear up and up to gear down, aka GP shift or race shift. It allows the pros to gear up in corners without scraping their foot on the ground, and means braking and accelerating forces won't work against gear changing movements. But if the fear of blowing up your engine if you shift in the wrong direction while learning has stopped you making the switch, here's a hack to help you keep the change at the front of your mind. While getting used to your new upside down gearbox, wear different shoes or boots to normal, so that the feeling of different boots is a constant reminder that something is different. And that way, you shouldn't slip back into old habits as easily. I had reservations about adhesive mounts when I first tried them, but I quickly realized that they're even stronger than my relationship with my bike. The downside is that they're impossible to remove and can only be used in one place. Or can they? The upside of being impossible to remove is that when you eventually do coax them to give up their grasp through some heat gun antics, they're still sticky enough to place somewhere else. Preferably somewhere indoors, like a tripod leg or drill press, rather than letting them experience high winds on a motorcycle, even though they probably could survive it all over again. In the first hacks video I ever made, I suggested sliding the brim of a cap under the rear seat strap to carry a hat with you even when you don't want to ride with a backpack. And a few of you guys recommended another way to keep a cap on you while riding a motorcycle. Loosen the strap that adjusts the size of the cap and hook it around a belt loop on your pants. Or if you have somewhere suitable in your bike's cockpit to take the same approach, it'll be out of the wind behind the windscreen and ready to cover up your helmet hair when you get where you're going. Some motorcycles are self-destructive. The rear wheel spits up small rocks and chips or marks the tail, or more specifically, the tail light. It was a bigger problem on my R6 than it has been on my R1, but I have found another use for Plastidip as a result. Simply coating the taillight or any panels that take a bit of abuse in clear Plastidip provides an invisible rubber layer of protection that can be removed at any time. But anyway, let me know which hack is your favorite. If you fancy seeing more videos like this, subscribe and share it with a friend. Better yet, give me some of your hack ideas, hit the like button, and I'll see you on the next ride.